Just a sec. All right, let's get started. So welcome. We're so glad that you joined us today. We'll get to meet you all in just a moment, but we're just going to start out by introducing ourselves. So as you know, you've joined the Forge Impact Cats info session. So we're super excited to jump right in and talk to you about what we're going to be offering. Next.
There you go.
Thank you.
So, hello everybody. My name is Emily Ruiz. I am the graduate assistant, specifically for Forge. I'm actually a grad student getting my master's in higher education administration. So hopefully in 2 years I'll get that master's. But with that, I'll pass it on to Julie.
And I am Julie Barbier-Belarzik. I'm the coordinator for venture development with Student Venture Pathways here at Forge. So what I do is I work with students who are wanting to start a venture of some sort. So even if they're at the idea stage and just kind of exploring what it means to be a business owner or to start a nonprofit or an impact organization, I can get them set up with different resources and programs. Excuse me.
And I know we're a very small group, but we want to get to know you all a little bit better. So we're just going to go around the little Zoom room to introduce ourselves. So first, can you go ahead and say your name, any pronouns that you prefer, what's your current year here at the U of A, what's your major and or minor if you have one. And I'm just curious, specifically for me, I'm a new person here in Tucson, so I was wondering what everybody's favorite place to eat is. So any recommendation is welcome because I haven't been out eating out a lot, so just getting new ideas. So we'll go ahead. Well, since I already introduced myself, I could say like my favorite place to eat in Tucson is probably, I mentioned I haven't been out a lot, so when I first came here, Julie actually took me over to Agave House, like very close to the school, and it was pretty good. So I recommend that if it's something you want to eat that's pretty close to school. So Agave House for sure. But if you all can introduce yourselves, I'll start with Noor. If I said that correctly, let me know if I say your name correctly.
Yes, he did.
Okay,
Hi,
perfect.
my name is Nor. I'm a freshman here. Computer science is my major. And favorite place to eat, it's called Istanbul. It's Turkish food. It, it is probably, in my opinion, the best food in Tucson.
Oh, dang. I'll
Uh,
definitely check that out. Thank you.
for sure. Thank you.
I'll pass it on to Nicole.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Nicole, and I am actually just getting started with the University of Arizona. Walk by the Forge window downtown often, and so I was just curious to find out exactly what it was. So that's why I joined today's meeting. I think my favorite place to eat at is the Sushi Garden over on Broadway in Countryside.
Okay, okay. I'm not a big sushi person, but I know a lot of people. So I'll definitely recommend it to them. And by chance, what was your major again?
It's in business management.
Okay, perfect, perfect. And Cassia, Acacia, I'm not sure if I said it correctly, sorry.
Acacia. Well,
Acacia. Close.
close enough, but I'm like a freshman and I'm in engineering and minor I really wanted to be like somewhere in EC or something.
Hmm.
And favorite place to eat, Kazuku.
Ooh. What kind of food do they specialize in?
Japanese food, unfortunately there isn't that much sushi stuff, so I actually think they might. I don't know. Um, it's been a while, but I really like that place, but it's really expensive.
Right.
Tempura, like udon, like they might have some Chinese stuff, but like the Japanese stuff is fun there.
Perfect, perfect. Sounds good. We'll definitely check that out. That sounds honestly really good. So thank you all for introducing yourselves. So we'll go ahead and begin. So first off, I'll pass it out to Julie to talk more about Forge.
All right, so what is Forge? So just to start out with our acronym here, you can see that it actually stands for Finding Opportunities and Resources to Grow Entrepreneurs. So here on campus, our section of Forge, our portion is called Student Venture Pathways. So what we do is develop an entrepreneurial mindset. We educate about the venture process. And I will just take a step back and say we call things ventures intentionally. So to be inclusive, because we would include even starting in a student organization, for example, as a venture. So really loose on that. It doesn't have to be a for-profit business or, like a tech startup that is often associated with the word entrepreneur. And then we also connect people. We connect to people and resources. So what we mean by that is we have some different programs where you can meet with us and do coaching or just do a consultation. And we can lead you toward some helpful resources based on what you're interested in around entrepreneurial mindset or venturing. We also like to celebrate the impact that we have and that you have, and celebrate founders as well. So founders being the founder of a venture is what we call them.
Okay, and a little bit of what we're going to talk about during this session. Well, first, we're going to talk about what exactly is this new Impact Cats program. After that, we'll talk more about eligibility requirements, as well as timeline or dates, and then the monthly sessions, how that's going to look like while you're part of the program. And I know a lot of students might have questions about the internship portion of it, so we'll go more in depth about the internship component as part of the Impact Cats program. And specifically at the end, we'll show you guys how to apply. So first, we wanted to do a little bit of an activity. I will turn on the annotation feature on Zoom in just a second. So if you're on a computer, you'll be able to like type things in on this specific slide. But we do have a question for you all, and is what do you all think of when you hear impact? So let me go ahead and turn on that annotation feature. And I think on the side, you could see like maybe you could like draw stuff. I think there's a little text box as well. So if you want to put some words on there, you certainly can. So what do you all think of when you hear impact? And if that doesn't work, you could just type it in the chat and then I could like type it up in there as well. Let me know if you all have any difficulty. Oh, there we go. Change. Perfect. Let me put that on there. Any other words? Anything else that comes to mind when you hear impact? Difference. Perfect. Making an impression. Cool, cool. Maybe another 2 more things. Let's see if we could get anything else on there. I know we're a small group, but change difference. Okay. No worries if you can't think of any other words or things that pop up with when you hear about impact. But I mean, that's why you all want to be interested in the program, so we could learn how we could create an impact. So we'll go ahead and move on. So thank you all for participating. Let me erase this. Okay.
So I'm just going to talk a little bit of an overview of what is Impact CATS. So it's entrepreneurial mindset and venture exploration training and coaching. You'll gain experience researching and applying for summer internships with priority access to some paid summer internships. We'll go into that a little bit more later. And there's also a component where there's a showcase event to reflect and share your learning. So reflect your learning over the course of the sessions that we'll be outlining, as well as your internship if you choose to do one. And of course, we want to tell you what the learning outcomes are. So building a community, so getting to know one another and having that peer support. Articulating future possibilities. So what do we mean by that? That's going to be thinking about the different pathways that you can take in your life, and seeing yourself as an entrepreneur, if that's what you choose to do, seeing yourself as whatever it is that you might want to explore. So again, really open with what that could mean, but being able to dream a little bit, being able to forge that pathway. And then goal setting. So learning about that, pretty straightforward, but being able to, set goals and figure out how to achieve them. Creating openness to new ideas will be a part of it. Identifying problems. So that's a really big part of venturing, is being able to fill a gap or to fill a need in society, or within a certain population or area. And lastly, experience researching internships. So we're going to have sessions, or for each of our sessions, you'll see there's a component where you're going to be learning about how to find internships and how to apply for them.
There are a little bit of participant commitments while you are part of this program, which is to attend our sessions each month. So beginning in January, we will be having a monthly session, so once a month. We are going to have a Venturing 101 course that you all will be taking. And how I mentioned, it is a little bit of a course that is at your own pace, asynchronous. So you all will be enrolled with that D2L component. And once you all enrolled, you all will be taking courses specifically designed for this Impact Hats program. So that will be one of the commitments as well. Another commitment is to meet with a Forge coach for either entrepreneurial mindset or venture development, to develop those venture development skills. So that will be another commitment. And the last commitment was to attend at least 2 entrepreneur experience in the spring semester, whether that be Forge hosted entrepreneur experience events or any other events that you all attend out on campus. That goes into that entrepreneur experience. So we want you all to be aware that there will be a little bit of a commitment to being part of the Impact Hats program. And eligibility to be part of the program is that you must be an active U Arizona undergraduate student for spring 2024. You must be in good academic standing, and by academic standing, we mean like to have a 2.0 or above cumulative GPA, and identify as first generation college student. And there is a lot of definitions about what a first generation college student is, but we'll give you that criteria. So first, what is a first generation student? So a first generation student is defined as a student who comes from a home where neither parent or legal guardian has completed a 4-year college degree, or a student whose parent / legal guardian completed a bachelor's degree or equivalent in a country outside of the US, or a student who has separated or divorced parents and the parent with primary custody or whom student lives with majority of the time does not have a bachelor's degree, or a student who was or is a homeless youth and has experienced foster care or has been ward of the state. So if you fit into one of those 4 criteria, you are considered a fresh generation student. Um, yeah. So if you fit one of those criterias, you are a first generation student, or you are considered a first generation student. And a little bit of the timeline. So our application is open, has been open since October, and the deadline to apply is until December 4th. Towards the middle of December, we will be then selecting participants. You all will be getting like communication that you've been accepted to the program and any following instructions. And starting in January through April of 2024, so the spring semester, we will be hosting those monthly sessions. And how I mentioned, it is a once a month sessions where we'll be doing a lot of like workshopping, a lot of presentations, and things around those lines. And then from May through August, and you will be or if you choose to participate in an internship, you will be doing that during that summer. And I want to reiterate, obviously, each internship probably has a different timeline. So you might just be doing it from like June to August or like May to June, things around those lines. But during that summer, is where our participants will be able to participate in those internship components. And once we come back from summer break, we will be doing a little bit of a program reflection and that showcase, whether it be late September or early October. But it will be during that timeline.
All right, back to me. So we're going to go through each of the 4 sessions here a little bit more in depth. So Venturing 101 course 1 would be a part of session 1. So we did mention that. So Venturing 101 is what we call this asynchronous D2L course that has a bunch of different modules. And so the first module is around defining impact. So it would basically be a few hours of your time doing this course on your own before we would meet for this session. The sessions are all taking place the last week of the month in January, February, March, and April. So you would be responsible for going and doing that coursework for a few hours each month before the sessions. So the next piece of this one is the impact workshop presented by the Office of Societal Impact. So you'll notice we're partnering with a lot of different offices across campus, which is very intentional so that you can get different perspectives and get expertise from these different entities. So this workshop in particular is going to help you better understand what we mean by impact and the impact that you want to have in the world. So better understanding those terms. We're also going to be doing a play shop, which have been really, really popular on campus. It is through Forge. Kelly King is the one who puts those on primarily, and it's going to be around core identity. So basically, we call them play shops rather than workshops because they are highly interactive and they're around entrepreneurial mindset skills. So the one in particular is going to be learning about your core identity, how you identify, and what is the heart of yourself and all of that. So I've been through that one before. It's really fun. And then lastly, we mentioned there's going to be internship planning workshop components to each of these different sessions so that you're on track to apply and successfully achieve a placement in an internship. So we're going to invite SECD, which is Student Engagement and Career Development. You all might have been involved with their programs. It's a big office here. But they're going to teach us about gaining internships. So the first one is likely going to be around what is an internship. Next one might be around searching for an internship. Session 3 will likely be around building your resume. And then lastly, interviewing would be the one on the 4th session.
And for the next session, the theme will be design thinking. So you all will be able to complete the Venturing 101 course 2, which revolves around design thinking. So you'll be able to participate in different activities within that course. We will also have a design thinking workshop presented by SECD, so the Career Development Center. And how Julie mentioned, each session we are implementing a internship planning workshop. So this might be how to apply to internships. So y'all get a head start of how to apply to these internships early on in the spring semester.
So our 3rd session is going to be around customer discovery. So you'll see some repetition here. So like we said, you'll complete the Venturing 101 course around customer discovery before this session. Then we're going to invite the Lundgren Center for Retailing in to do some activities around why customer behavior is important to consider thinking about in a venture. And then we'll have an internship planning workshop piece.
And for the final session of the spring semester, you'll be completing a Venturing 101 course 4, which revolves around the topics of resilience. We will also be hosting a Forge flop session. And a flop session, it's basically experts in the field who come in and talk to our students about any challenges they face throughout their, launching a venture development, or just in general their career wise. And how they overcame those challenges, or what we like to call overcome those failures that they face throughout their college during their career, and ways that they overcame that and they became resilient. We will also have a resilience activity, so you all can be more so you all can learn skills on how to be more resilient, how to overcome those challenges, and how to overcome that failure aspect. And of course, we will be doing our usual internship planning workshop during that session as well.
So let's talk a little bit about the internships. Actually, I'm going to just pause for a moment. Does anyone have any questions about the sessions or anything that we've talked about thus far before we get into internships? Feel free to unmute yourself or type it in the chat. All right. You can still type it in the chat if you are currently typing. I am going to launch into the internship piece. And of course, we'll have time at the end for questions as well. So internships. So basically what we're going to be going over is how to search and obtain a summer internship or future internship. So we do have a set number of internships that we have secured that will be available. We just want to make it clear that the internships are not guaranteed. We are working to secure funding for paid internships, but we're not going to know the details of that funding until the end of this year, near the end of December. So if you have any specific questions about that, we're happy to answer that. Internships are also not required. So that's why we also put future internship there. And of course, these same skills are going to be valuable for whatever career you go on in your future. So that's why we're keeping it a little bit loose there with the internships. Does anyone have any questions about internships?
Yeah, and kind of to go off of Julie a little bit, and the reasons why we mentioned that internships are not required, is because, like, let's say for example, you already have plans going on during this upcoming summer, whether it be going back home, whether you have already a set internship already, congratulations if you do, or if you have like a summer job that you usually do during the summers, you could still participate in this program. So that shouldn't, or it helps alleviate any like conflicts you all have in the summer. So you all are free to still participate even if you have summer plans already. But how we mentioned, we will be giving you or help develop those skills for you to obtain a internship either this upcoming summer or in um, future timelines. But any questions? No? Okay, sounds good. So if you all are interested, here's how you could apply. If you're on your computer, you could go ahead and scan this QR code from your phone, and it will take you to our Qualtrics. And I believe Julie, I think you did, yeah. Julie has included the link to our application in the chat, so you could definitely open that up. It will ask you a couple of, I guess you could say, open-ended questions towards the end. So definitely check that out. But the deadline to complete this application will be December 4th. So if, for example, you can't complete it right now, make sure you bookmark it, come back to it, and make sure you all turn that in before December 4th. But yeah, that's how you could apply. And of course, if you all have any questions or have any challenges, you could always reach out to us, email us. If you have any like concerns or anything around those lines, we're here to help you for sure. Okay.
So final slide here. So you can see our email addresses here. Feel free to reach out to us directly. There is also a QR code there if you're just wanting to learn more about Forge in general. That should take you right to our website, which is also listed there. So forge.arizona.edu. We've got lots of fun things going on. Even if you are not a part of this program, we do offer that entrepreneurial mindset coaching to all University of Arizona students. It is free, and we do venture development education coaching as well for free. So just adding that in there, but we want to open it up to see if anybody has any questions about Impact Cats.
So I have a question. You mentioned that you guys help out like new founders, right? So in terms of like a startup, um, how could you guys like help, for example, like in terms of leading to like fundraising or things like that for a startup?
Absolutely. So do you currently have a startup? Is that what you're asking, or just curious in general?
No, I'm just curious. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so we are on campus as Student Venture Pathways, and specifically Emily and my team are the venture development education team. So we have those peer venture coaching one-on-one. So that's a really good place to start. And then we can connect you to different places. So one of the major connects would be to the other part of Forge, which we actually have a building downtown, Stone and Pennington. And we have accelerator programs that are being run down there. We have mentors in residence. Our executive founding director, Brian Ellerman, has a whole bunch of resources and a big network. So we kind of work with you one-on-one on what your goals are, and then can certainly connect you with that. So if it is securing financial assets for your startup. We work with the Community Investment Corporation, so CIC, with Danny Nee and them. And so they're a really good resource. But yeah, we have tons of different things in our pocket that we can pull out and discuss. It's just on an individual basis.
Cool. Sounds good. And is it possible, like, I have this one-on-one meeting with you, maybe
Mhm.
like later on or at a different day by setting an appointment?
Absolutely. So Nor, I will follow up via email on how you can get connected with us in that way. So just look out for that email.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. Thank you.
For sure. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Bye.
Any other questions about Impact Cats or Forge in general? All right. Well, in that case, thank you so much for being here. We're really excited about the Impact Cats program. We have been getting a lot of good feedback from students. We've gotten lots of good applications in. So if it does sound interesting to you, we really encourage you to apply, and don't hesitate to reach out via email or yeah, go to our website to see what else we have to offer.
Thank you all. We'll be sure to follow back to you all via email with more information about Impact Hats as well as our application link. So be on the lookout for an email relatively soon. But thank you all for joining us. Let us know if you have any questions. We'll be here for a little bit. How do I stop recording?